We're at Great Saltpetre Cave Preserve, commonly known as GSP or the GSP. Great Saltpetre Cave Preserve is this awesome nature preserve in Kentucky, foothills, 300 acres, and it's just used by cavers to come down here as a home base and hang out, meet, talk, have parties, and go caving. My name's Cody. I'm a caver, climber, outdoor enthusiast.
What a beautiful day.
Great Saltpetre Cave Preserve, or GSP, is in Mount Vernon, Kentucky, I guess you could call it. It's not in the town itself, it's about 30 minutes kind of into the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, if you want to go as far back, there is Native American drawings in the cave. And then 1790s, I think, was when it was first used for mining, saltpeter. In the War of 1812, US versus Britain, it was a big mining operation for saltpeter, which is like one of the main ingredients in gunpowder. And then after that, it just kind of switched hands for private mining operations. Didn't do mining during the Civil War. And then I think in 1938, John Lair bought it, and he was the one who really brought it to fame in terms of cave tours. Then it got bought in the 90s, I believe, and made as a nature preserve. So now that's what it is today. And it's only open to the public now 1 weekend a year in May. And that's when people can come down and have a tour of the cave still. And it's awesome to get some of the local people in here too. The mid-1900s in general, there is a big push in Kentucky for tour caves because there's so many caves in Kentucky that a lot of people came to the area looking to try to make some money, and chances are you had a property that had a cave on it because there's so many down here. And so a lot of people were just trying to do tour caves, and GSP was one of the bigger ones just because of how big the cave is and how accessible it is. And I think that's kind of what pushed it into its tour cave era, that in general Kentucky era of tour caving and then being actually a good cave for touring. When it was first made into a tour cave, number one, they bulldozed a path through the actual cave so that people could walk on it. Mining operations have always happened, so there's a lot of dugout mud around and huge mud mounds and vats and areas like that in the cave too. Now, the biggest thing is technology in the cave. So the lights they have to take care of every year because it's a wet, moist environment, so things are always going off about them. So GSP is a limestone cave, as most caves are in Kentucky. In particular, there's a few places. One is Russian Dome. Russian Dome's a beautiful kind of stalactite, stalagmite column area in the cave that's the most beautiful place, I think, in the cave in terms of formations. That's like the first stop along the tour of the cave. And then you keep going and you'll get to what we call Bunker Hill, and then Echo Auditorium, which is the main hall of the cave. That's where they did a lot of weddings and ceremonies during the 60s and stuff. And then throughout the back is where the mining operation took place. There's a lot of like vat, there's like a long hallway with a bunch of vat areas, and then you get to the north entrance of the cave, the only other entrance of the cave. And it's actually on someone else's property, but we have an agreement with them as a preserve. And then you come back through signature hallway, which is probably the most featured area of the cave. It's got like signatures dating back as far as the Native Americans all the way up to like when they stopped doing that in the 70s. So that's a really, really cool feature. I started coming here when I was 10 years old, I think. My aunt brought me down here. She was really involved back then in the grottos that run the place and the management of the preserve. Yeah, the nature preserve as a whole is a place that is really special to me because I've been coming down here a lot, and I think a lot of people feel that way. And it's just this awesome area that we, like, as cavers, can come together to talk about caving in the area, to see how it's looking on the latest projects everyone's working on, and an area for that community to meet, and at the wider world large, a great opportunity to invite the locals in the area that maybe have had a history of like knowing previous owners. This place is so special because it allows you to experience nature in a more quiet way. So like you go to the parks and you see like tons of people there hiking around. Maybe you don't, you go to a certain place, but being private and being able to allow like yourself to wander through the woods and not see another soul, or you know, come and talk to a bunch of people that are like-minded down here is really, really special. And getting to learn caving as well through a bunch of awesome people that are, you know, cavers their whole lives, that's really special.